Smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse, I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you. From the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now, say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free, can't nobody take me here and now.
It's my time. What's happening, everybody? It's Sunday, 6 p.m. It's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. I guess it's time for me to go and ride out the music so we could get this going. Thanks to me, top was my destiny. From behind me, but I'm still fly. I know. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx once again, Going Full Nerd. What's happening? 6 p.m. Sunday. I'm glad that you could be right here with me right now as I record the podcast that I hope you listen to every time you go out or sit at home or do whatever you do. But before we get started, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it smooth. We're going to keep it mellow. I am going to give some spoiler warnings. Spoiler warnings. If you have not watched the first 3 episodes of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, hey man, I'm gonna give out some key things. Hey, it is what it is, folks. First 2 episodes, hey, you on your own. 3rd episode, I'm gonna give you a little break. I'm gonna just hit a couple of things, but that is the thing, and I'm just kind of giving you that ahead of time. But shameless plug time goes right now. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel Going Full Nerd. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like button, and hit the subscribe with the bell, ding, 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 in order to pretty much be notified every time I go live and put a video up. That kind of works out. Then, what I also like you to do is check out the podcast on this home, anchor.fm/Going Full Nerd. But you can also check it out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Did I forget something? Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, or wherever you consume your podcast listening needs. Lastly, but not least, I'm going to throw it out there. Lastly, but not least, you can go ahead and check out goingfullnerd.com, where you can get some comic book news and press releases. And if you choose to kind of sit back and watch videos and don't want to chat, but just want to watch, go to goingfullnerd.stream and you can check out video game streaming along with me, shooting a GIF, doing my thing, flapping my lips. But anyway, and you can also buy some cool Going Full Nerd merchandise if you haven't already done so. But anyway, here we go. It is Sunday. Yesterday I ran I did about 6 hours. I was planning on doing 8. I said I was going to do 8 hours to benefit Children's Hospital in Washington, D.C. I only did 6. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not feeling well at all. I feel like crap right now. Headache, coughing. Sometimes I got a fever. Sometimes I don't. No, let's not get over the top. Let's not start saying that nasty little C word or that nasty little R word that everybody says. I just don't feel good. So instead of my normal adult beverage, I'm drinking water. I need to stay hydrated. That's what you got to do. Hold on. Mm. Oh, hey, thank you for commenting on the shirt. See, everybody ain't up on that Winter Soldier. See, I'm finding cool new shirts that I'm finding all over the place. You ain't seen nothing yet. 2021 is going to be off the chain. It's going to be off the straight chain when it comes to shirts. I got a Sinestro ordered. It's going to be crazy. But anyway, so everybody, let's throw this out here. So let's talk about the Mandalorian season 2. Hey, it's been out for 3 weeks now. We got 3 episodes now. Disney Plus, they don't do us like Netflix. They don't do us like Hulu and the rest of these. They don't throw all the episodes out there so we could go ahead and watch everything right off the bat. What what they do is they spoon feeding us. They like, yo, you can have this episode this week, this episode this week, this episode this week. That's cool. But think about it. Mandalorian, the season 2 came back with a vengeance, folks. And, it had Easter eggs, revealing more of the history of the Star Wars universe little by little. And I think this is kind of where they really needed to go with Star Wars instead of the big films we got. I know they did the last of the trilogy, Rise of Skywalker, and all that other yin yang, but that's not really what we wanted to know about for this. I don't think we did. I really don't think we did. These far off corners of the Star Wars universe, because even a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was more people than the Skywalkers. You can't tell me that one little niche of people was doing their thing. I know there was tons of others doing their thing, and it's about time we get some of those stories. Now we got some of those stories in the animated features, but we didn't get those in live action until now. Okay, now here's the thing. I've been watching the first 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. I like it. I dig it. I like it. I want it. I want to watch more of it. Anyway, The Mandalorian, here's the thing though. It's got that old school spaghetti western, that lone wolf and cub feeling, you know, and it sometimes it gets a little bit on my nerve. It gets a little bit on my nerve because, The Mandalorian, we know what he's supposed to be doing. We learned that in season 1. We learned the fact that dude is supposed to, bottom line, get this child, or baby Yoda as people call him, back to his race, his kind, or the Jedi's, whatever you want to call it. But here goes. Every time he gets a lead, every time he asks somebody, yo, I need this info, it'd be like, yeah, man, I got that info, but you got to do something for me. I'm like, yo, at a certain point, if I was the Mandalorian, I'd be like, yo, I'm tired of doing stuff for y'all. I don't want to do nothing for none of y'all. What I want is you to give me the information. It's not like he can't kick everybody behind. He been whooping ass the whole time. Every episode I've watched from season 1 till now, he has been kicking ass, taking names. But it is what it is. But let's talk about these episodes. Let's kind of talk. Throw another thing out there for you. If you look in the description of the video, if you look in the description of the podcast recording you may be listening to, there is a link for extralife.org. You can still make donations to my charity for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, basically Children's Hospital, Children's National Medical Center, actually in Washington, D.C. Please make sure you get that done. I hope that that's something you can do. It's tax deductible. Trust me, I've made donations. We've had a lot of people make donations. I'd like to, give a shout out to my man Ted, to my man Sam, to Brandy. Appreciate you guys making donations along with myself. And the people that bought merchandise from the Going Full Nerd merchandise links that I've been kind of throwing all over social media, I took the profits from those, and those were donated to Children's Miracle Network Hospital. But if you want to get it for tax purposes for you, tax incentives for you, go to that link that's in the description. Make a donation. Could be $5, could be $4, could be $2, could be 500. I don't care. Just give a little something. Let them know you care. Help others. All right, let's get back to what I was talking about. So let's talk about episode 1. This was the thing. They had to come hard with episode 1 because if we remember ending off last season was off the chain, especially when Big Brother Dean Almighty showed up at the end. He had the dark saber. He was standing there. He was all looking kind of smooth and hard. I was like, oh yeah, Giancarlo is killing it. Yo, did not make an appearance in the first episode of the season. I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. That's good. I could deal with him not being in there. Now, here's the thing. But we found out the fate of everyone's favorite Mandalorian, Boba Fett, son. Let me say that again. We found out Boba Fett's fate. And it's something else, Boba Fett was the character that everyone fell in love with, though he barely had any screen time in the Star Wars movies. If you think about it, I think that he had like less than 3 minutes of screen time every time he showed up, and, just kind of watching and listening to, people on the internet and kind of watching The Mandalorian myself and going at it, I'm kind of, the show is kind of, I'm still loving it, but it's getting to me. Because the hired hero with a gun and, morality, it really makes me wonder about Star Wars when I envisioned it as a kid. I thought it was more medieval knights tales, and we get this expansion. It's more of a spaghetti western or a samurai story, those type of things. The lone wolf doing his thing. I will survive. I will get you back to your family. That type of stuff, and it's cool. And although the action and the story continue to be pretty well developed, this expansion goes in so many directions, you know, and the elements that they've introduced can go all sorts of ways. They pretty much said they're going to do some spin-offs, but nobody said what they were, when they're going to be, and how is it going to happen. Because they're introducing so many elements that I would just love it. I'm not even thinking about the movies anymore. I don't care about the Star Wars. This right here, if you do a bunch of episodic television shows, this would be awesome. You know, this is actually renewing my interest into Star Wars. And the thing is, you know, it's going to, I'm sorry, William Shatner. I'm sorry, you're going to hear me say this. The shows like The Mandalorian will make Star Wars better than Star Trek. I said it. That's going to start a fight. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It is what it is. But here we go. I liked Timothy Olyphant's character. He showed up wearing Boba Fett's armor. Excuse me. It wasn't Boba Fett, but it was kind of cool. It was real smooth. You know, the Western gunslinger role fit him based on his roles. He always gets down into. He does that. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing the series with him in it. That would be kind of cool. And you know, there are things that you may or may not have noticed. Like one of the things that I could sit back and say is, did you notice John Leguizamo in it? You may or may not have. The opening scene, John Leguizamo, man, dude is a beast when it comes to playing characters. And the thing is I didn't recognize him until I watched that episode 2 or 3 times. Somebody said, "Yo, that's John Leguizamo." I'm like, "Y'all bullshitting me. That's not him." I looked, and then I had to listen real close, and I was like, "That's my man's right there." I mean, you knew he put himself into a role back when he did Spawn and did all the makeup as the clown. John Leguizamo is a beast, so that was pretty cool, you know. And the thing about it, Lucasfilm, Disney, whatever you want to call them now, they're getting top name actors who are putting 100% into these. And I just can't gush on it enough. But that's, you know, that's the thing. Episode one didn't focus on the child. I like that because they could have really gone down that road and, keep focusing on what's selling toys and all that other stuff. That was the cute awe factor. When his ass got punched in season one, that was all good, but I can't deal with it. I'm done. I'm glad they're moving on and doing other things. Though he is still there and he's still a plot point. Now, here's the thing. Episode one felt more like an A team episode. He shows up, there's a problem. He's a wanted man. He goes through, he helps them solve a problem. He gets his information, he moves on to the next. I mean, I guess it works. John Favreau knows what he's doing. He's making millions doing these things. I'm sitting at home critiquing them in my man cave. So take what you will from that. All right. And pretty much trust the big picture. I'm going to trust the writers. I'm going to trust the producer that things are going to get better. Then we get to episode two. And when we got to episode two, it makes me wonder if I'm playing a video game with a bunch of side quests because it really feels like we're off the beaten path with this. And I'm like, okay, come on now. Work with me, man. Work with me. I mean, I do have to laugh because it had Super Trooper feelings to it when you had the two X-Wings pull up on the side talking about, can I get your beacon? I was just waiting for, some social commentary or something, license and registration, please. It just felt like that, it was cool. It is what it is, but they really got into, again, the gun for hire aspect. I mean, really, it feels dragging out now. I'm feeling like I'm in Groundhog Day. I know when the next episode comes up, he's going to have another quest. He's got to go do something before he gets his info. But they got to make it interesting to me. They got to make it real interesting. 1 second. Okay, so basically, here's the deal. The child is a crap load of trouble. The jobs the Mandalorian takes really feels like filler stories just to get him to his main quest. Episode two, I'm going to be honest, it really is incomplete. I mean, people were ready to cancel Baby Yoda or the child, whatever you choose to call him, because he was eating the frog's lady's eggs. I mean, I'm sorry. Hey, we eat chicken eggs. So are we going to cancel each other? I mean, I think the vegans and all that, they're going to get mad at me on this episode. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. We eat eggs. I mean, he was eating those eggs. Don't haven't y'all had frogs legs, frogs eggs, whatever. But anyway, so that episode, you had everything. You had, I think it was a nod to aliens because I really thought, they were going to have some face huggers. They got chased by giant spiders, all that good stuff. It was cool. I could dig it. It was But here goes the deal. The episode was incomplete. It really, to me, served no purpose. It was a filler. It was a side quest in the video game. And I just didn't like the second episode like that. It was more of the Mandalorian bitching and moaning about having to take his cargo where it needed to go. Does that make sense? And how he got all jacked up doing. Now, here's the great part. I said, okay, let me not cancel The Mandalorian. I'm going to jump on episode 3. That's this week's episode. And I started looking at it. I watched it all the way through. This was the story continued from episode 2. This was on point. This was it. I finally got the ending to episode 2 that I should have gotten. But here's the problem. It still has raggedy ass side quests. Though these side quests were more action packed, they were more fulfilling, and they revealed more of the Star Wars history backstory. And it cleared up some plot points and plot holes that we may have found inside The Mandalorian watching it all the way up to now. So, let's start off every episode. Hey, Mando, I got your info, but you got to do something for me first. Anyway, yo, check this out. It was good to see Katie Sackhoff. If you don't know who Katie Sackhoff is, that's Starbuck from the latest incarnation of Battlestar Galactica. You know, some people felt she was supposed to have been Captain Marvel in the Marvel Universe. It is what it is. But seeing her show up, making her appearance as the first live action depiction of a character from Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series, that was awesome. She was, I guess it was her name? Bo Katan. She is the live action version of Bo Katan, the Mandalorian. Now, I'm not going to spoil the details of all this, but I am going to say there's some awesome fight scenes, and we get to learn a little more about Mandalorian history. Okay. And Mandalorian history kind of goes off at this. A lot of people said there were inconsistencies within the Star Wars universe because now we got this series, The Mandalorian. He doesn't get to take his helmet off because this is the way. Found out he's part of a different faction of Mandalorians who were more religious zealots from the others. So we got different clans within the Mandalorian. So maybe, maybe Maybe Boba Fett was a Mandalorian. Maybe Jango Fett was a Mandalorian. Don't know. A lot of people said no. I think they kind of put it in somewhere. No, he just liked the armor. He was a bounty hunter. He took it. I don't know. I just don't know. We know Boba Fett was a clone of Jango, but we don't know if they had any of the Mandalorian background. You know, all we know he was humanoid. He's in there, and he's probably going to make an appearance later on in the season. They teased it. Episode 1, they did what they did. So this should be cool. This should be good. But what I like is Disney got all of everybody on the okie doke. When they released the promo images, when they were doing the advertising, they got on us. They got on us nerd males. They was like, yo, we're gonna tease you this image of Sasha Banks from WWE. Sasha Banks was like, everybody was like, ooh, what character she gonna be? They had that look. But then if you sit back and you realize and you look at it, she actually had a small role. You know, I don't watch wrestling much. I didn't mind watching Sasha Banks on The Mandalorian. But hopefully that wasn't a one-off appearance with Katie Sackhoff, Sasha Banks, and all that. And I hope we get to see more Mandalorians throwing down because the fight scenes were off the chain. The fight scenes were bang. But anyway, folks, that's catching you up on The Mandalorian Season 2. That is the return of the Mandalorian. Yo, that's your boy. I got that. So check it out, y'all. I need some help. I need content ideas. Yo, it's getting rough when there's no movies, when everybody seems to be going back and forth between phase. It seems like things are going back to phase 1. Things are going crazy in the world. Hey, let me get some ideas. Let's do some old school talk. That's going to be the key. So what I invite everybody to do is send me a message on Twitter, direct message, or give a call to the call-in number. You can see it right here above the screen. Give a call, leave a message. Let me know what would you like to talk about in next week's show. And on Thursday, I will go live and announce what we will be talking about on Sunday's show. We're going to start trying to get a little bit into this. And if you kind of want to know where I get these cool shirts, tune in. I think what I may have to do is a fashion show, pull out all of the shirts that I get and let y'all check them out. But anyway, everybody, hey, this is your boy Onyx here on Going Full Nerd. Just remember, if you can't say anything nice about anybody, don't say anything at all. Send it to me. I'll say it for you. Peace, y'all, and I'm out of here. Let's get some of that funky outro music. Let's get that funky outro music. I'm gonna get the cool outro music. We ain't gonna do Still Fly. We're gonna want it. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? All right now. Want it. Hey, my bad. sometimes, hey, it is what it is, folks. What I'm going to go ahead and say is, what you got to look at is this. Content is getting rough. It is so hard getting content. But you know what? We're going to make it work out. We're going to do what we got. We're going to do what we got to do. I'm really surprised that, we didn't have a lot of people come into the charity fundraiser yesterday, but that's okay. That is quite all right. So hopefully we'll be able to get that going. And we got until December 31st to get the charity. Please remember to go ahead and get that done. Pretty much I'm out, folks. Peace.